So your church is supporting a doctor's office project, I heard. How will this work?
Okay, I work with women that are working in rural communities, and these women have no clinic, and their children are dying. Pregnant women are dying. The major problem there is malaria, number one. So I go to these villages maybe twice a month. It all depends on my schedule. Sometimes I spend 5 days. At other times I spend almost 2 weeks when we have trainings. We have currently in a village named Waka, we have about 44 women that are doing this work. And another village which is called Dingai, we have about 50 women that are doing the work. So my job is basically to train these women on how to prevent malaria by keeping their surroundings clean, having their children to sleep under bed nets, which is something that my office is providing for them to sleep with. The government sometimes supports by providing the nets, but it's not always. But my church is doing that so that people can buy it at a subsidized rate. For example, if it's 1,200 naira, then the church subsidizes it to be 200 or 100 so that every family member can have it. So we encourage women to be vigilant with any stagnant water around the house. They should take care of the children. Even in the evening, they make sure they sleep under the net, not to sit outside so the mosquitoes are not bitten. Men and women, you wear long sleeve clothes, you put on socks so that you protect yourself from malaria. And the second thing we do is provision of water. The community raises money, 30% of the total cost for the drilling of water, and the office, that is my church, raises 70% of the remaining money. So it's very difficult for this community to even come up with this 30% because life is not like in Europe. It's a very different situation. People cannot even afford food. They have no jobs, so they cannot afford to raise the money. But if they do, then there's clean water for them. In the meantime, if the water is not there, they get water from the stream. We encourage them to boil it or to put it under the sun for 12 hours before they drink it. The third thing we're doing is the prevention of diarrhea. And this diarrhea comes as a result of having dirty water, not good food. If your food is contaminated, children eat and they have diarrhea. So we encourage women to teach children how to wash hands with soap, water, or ash, which is readily available, and everybody can do that. So if there's diarrhea in a family, a mother is trained to make salt solution with sugar, and they continue to feed the child. We encourage them to give breast milk as well, so that the child continue to feed, even if there's vomiting, but he still gives, the mother will still give the child food.
How can help our church you?
Okay. Your church, as we are in partnership, one, you can pray for us, and two, come and visit us in Nigeria, or if you have something you want to send to our people, it will be very good for us to have any help from you. I would like to say a big thank you to the Hungarian government, because when we came here, they invited us to their office. We went there and we had fellowship. That is something good. So if Hungarian people can continue with this fellowship, I think we'll be happy, even to pray for us because of the insurgency, the sicknesses that are attacking young children and pregnant women. Hungarian people to continue to pray for us.
Your husband is a rector of the theology. How is the education, the theological education in Nigeria?
Okay, the seminary has about 300 students, and they have hostels, but others do not stay in the hostel because there's limited accommodation, so they have to come from town to school and then they go back afterwards. So the theological education is two types. One, you get a diploma, and the other one, you get a first degree. So it all depends on which one you want to do. And if you are there for diploma, you stay for 3 years. If you are there for the bachelor's degree, you stay for 4 years, of which after you finish, you graduate, you will be under internship for 1 year. Some, they can be religious teachers, some can be ordained as pastors to work in various congregations. So it all depends on what you feel called to do or what your church wants you to do. Actually, it's a small seminary, but it's the only Lutheran seminary in Nigeria and also in West Africa. Mm-hmm. We used to have international students coming from Togo, from Liberia, and from Sierra Leone. Mm-hmm. But now, because of the Boko Haram thing, people don't come anymore. But we are hoping that with time we will have international students coming to the seminary. Mm-hmm. Actually, the work is not easy. I'm missing my husband. Like, since I came here, there was no email. Only today I was like, you're too busy. Yeah, there's too much work to do. So,
how is your church life in your congregation?
The church life, actually I live on the seminary campus, so I stay with the students. That is basically where I do my worship service. And I'm not very much involved, but I'm the leader of the women fellowship and the pastor's wife. We have about over 500 pastors' women that are under my area. So I am their leader. We'll be having our convention very soon in December. So church life is there. You're busy. We have Bible studies. We have choir practice. And we have church services. We have Holy Communions as you do here. So it's very busy, but I try to stay away because of my job. If I do it every time, then I will break down. So I try to do what I can do at a time. Yes.
But what have you studied?
Okay, first I was a teacher with the government, but then my husband will go out of the country and I will stay home. Sometimes I will join him. I decided I'm going to quit working with the government because every time I go to apply for leave, they say, oh, you can choose to work or not to work. Just follow your husband. So I decided I'm not going to work for the government anymore. I will work for the church. So I studied home economics from the beginning. And then when I went to the US, I studied health education, which is the degree I'm using. And currently I'm a student of the United States as well, a school called Future Generation University. I'm doing my master's degree. Yeah, this is my second semester.
Can the people do studying in Nigeria, all the people who wanted to study?
Yes, people would like to go to school, especially women. But there's this cultural problem in other cultures that women, you get married or people cannot afford to pay for school fees. But it's a good thing, everybody would like to go to school. Only that if you can't afford, if you have no money, maybe you go to a school that is not really good, depends on your income. So, but it's a good thing, everybody would like to study, everybody would like to graduate and then have a good job. But in a situation when you don't have the means, then you cannot study.
Can you tell us something about your personal faith?
I was born and raised a Christian. My grandfather was a pastor. My mother was a Sunday school teacher. And my father, too, is one of the church council members. And I married a pastor. So I see myself to be a Christian called to dedicate to the work of God. So as a Christian, I see a lot of work that God is doing in my life. I'm the type that would like to have friendship with every body, children, men, women, and I think this is a gift of the Spirit. It's not my own doing. So my Christian life, I would say, is something that I will not deny it, because I've seen the hand of God in me and through the people I work with. Like we visited the not nursing home, the mentally challenged people here. And we went there, everybody will say, okay, I will be your friend, I will be your friend. I say, if not because of God, where will I meet these people? How will they say, okay, they want to be my friends, but because of my faith, which I'm proud of, that is what made people to come close to me, and I appreciate God for that.
Can you tell me something about your family, about your children?
Okay. I have 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. My oldest daughter is 24 years. The second one, he is 20. The third one, he is 18. He will be 18 next tomorrow. And the youngest is 15 years old. Actually, the third one, who is a boy, I adopted him, but he is still my son. Yeah, so he's part of my family. And my oldest daughter is graduating in the university in November this year. The second, she's studying accountancy. And the second one is also in the university in his 3rd year. He's studying architecture. The 4th one is going into university by January. And the youngest is at 10th grade in the secondary school.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.